We want to show you this video of the interment service just a few hours ago at Carter's final resting place. Jimmy Carter buried next to his wife Rosalynn at their Plains home and garden. This is now part of the Jimmy Carter National Historic Park. The president was buried tonight after a day of tributes in the nation's capital, followed with tributes right here in Georgia.
What a day, and you watch it all during our live coverage. The private family funeral in his hometown was a stark contrast of the big state fancy funeral up in Washington, D.C. Channel 2's Richard Elliott begins our Team 2 coverage from Plains, Georgia.
After the pomp and circumstance of a state funeral in Washington, D.C., Jimmy Carter returned to Plains for one last service, a private funeral for friends and family at his beloved Maranatha Baptist Church. As the presidential hearse arrived at Maranatha Baptist Church, former President Jimmy Carter was greeted by an honor guard and flyover by 21 Navy F-18 fighter jets in the missing man formation. It was Mr. Carter's final visit to his beloved church where he taught Sunday school for so many years. His family pastor, Tony Loudon, said the former president's life was one of service.
From his humble beginning as a Georgia farmer to his incredible accomplishments as commander-in-chief, President Carter embodied the ideas of a life of service.
The simple service reflected the former president's own humility, traditional hymns sung by a military choir, and Maranatha's own. Afterwards, I spoke with Carter's own Congressman, Sanford Bishop, long a friend of the former president. He told me he believes Jimmy Carter represented the very best of America.
I think that Jimmy Carter certainly represented the highest of American values, the highest of Christian values, and the highest of value for human life and humanity.
And after the service, the pallbearers left the church to take Jimmy Carter on his final ride home. Jimmy Carter now at rest beside his beloved Rosalynn at the family compound here in Plains. In Plains, I'm Richard Elliott, WSB Tonight.
And the streets of Plains are empty at this hour, but earlier tonight, people lined the streets to see the Carter family say goodbye to their hometown hero, a man they called Mr. Jimmy. Channel 2 Sophia Troy continues her Team 2 coverage now in downtown Plains.
Some of these people waited 6 and 7 hours in the cold just for this poignant moment to be able to say goodbye to one of their own, Jimmy Carter. And that's what they call him, one of their own around here. They know him as president, but around here he's also known as a neighbor and a friend, a person they call Mr. Jimmy. He brought a lot of focus to Plains, Georgia. And he brought a lot of tourists to Plains, Georgia, and they hope that continues despite his passing. But for now, a historic moment that we all got to take part in, a once-in-a-lifetime moment as we say goodbye to our 39th president. In Plains, Georgia, Sophia Troy, Channel 2 Action News, WSB Tonight.